Okay, this is a tutorial on how to make this ruler. So if you look here, I've got an acrylic ruler. It goes up to 17 because I wanted to fit into the pencil case that I've also designed. 17 is a bit of a strange length of ruler, but you can get 15 centimeter rulers, so 17 is the maximum we can get, and it's still fitting in the pencil case. I've left a 5mm gap at both ends, which is a normal thing to do with rulers that are made of plastic, because they tend to get chipped or dropped, and so you have to be a little way in to start measuring. I've got obviously 1cm divisions with numbers, and then every 5mm, and then every 1mm all the way along. So let's go ahead and start drawing this. Right. So the first thing is that the ruler, again, to suit the pencil case that I've already designed, needs to be 50 by 180. So we can do that easily with the rectangular tool. Make sure that the grid lock is on, because it's by default to 1cm grid, and I've chosen a size that is easy to draw. Remember that the numbers that you're looking for are down here in the relative coordinates. So 180 by 50. Okay, that's good. You notice it draws initially in black. Of course, eventually the drawing needs to be in blue for cut and green for engrave. So the lines to cut around the outside need to be in blue, and all the numbers and increments need to be in green. Okay, so now to zoom into that little drawing there, you can select it and you can use the selection tool, and it will zoom it right in. Sometimes I usually go out a little bit as well because it goes a bit too far. So we want a 5mm 5mm in. So I think I'm going to go to the step lock, and I'm going to put in a line. Now it's quite easy to just count along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, and we'll make it about 6. Let's see, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5mm long, 5mm in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you ever want to check any measurements, an easy way of doing it is to use the measurement tool. So I'll put dimension on for you. So if you want horizontal dimensions, you can do that. Put 2 points in, and there we go. That's 5. That's what I wanted, and I know that's 5 as well. Okay, so, and then once you've checked it, of course, you can just go back and delete it. Now, that's for my. Let's have a look. How long did I do it? I think I did it. I think I made it 1cm long, actually. So I think I need to make that even longer. Doesn't look long enough. So we'll go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, 10. And we want that every 10mm. Okay, so to do a hang on, what's happening? Select that, selection, there we go. To get them to go all the way across, all you've got to do is select one, okay, and then we're going to use the draw a rectangular array of the selected objects, okay, and the number of columns you want need to be, I think it's going to be 17, because it's 17 centimeters. A number of rows, 1 row. The X, how far does it go across? Well, 10mm, and it doesn't matter what Y is. Okay, so let's try that. Oh, look at that. That's brilliant. Oh, I needed one more. Okay, so I'm just going to undo it, double click on this, and I'm going to do 18. So it's the best thing to do is to just start again if you get it wrong. So that looks good. Now we need the 5mm increments. So there you go, from 8 to 8.5. So you see wherever the cursor is, that's where it zooms into. And I'm using the scroll wheel on the mouse. So I'm going to put one line in here, and I think I can can count 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember the step locks on, and that looks about right. I mean, it's an engraving, it's not too crucial, but it kind of looks right. And then we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this time we need 16. That's interesting. So we go like this. This time we want 16. It's going to be 10 millimeters and 1 row, so that's the same. There we go. Oh, look at that. Did it wrong again. 17. Okay. So it's easier just to go back and redo a lot of the time rather than tinker around and add a bit. So that looks good. Now we've got the 1 millimeters to do now, and I think we can put lots of little lines in there. So we'll do the first. I think I'm going to do that. Whoops, in the wrong place. That. Okay. So I can do all that, and then I think I'm going to select. What did I do to them? I'm going to do one of them. Okay, and we'll try and do an array of that. So it's got to move over 1, 2, 3. It's got to move over 5 millimeters. So we go here, and I'm not quite sure. I'm going to leave it at 17. Number of rows 1, and this has got to be 5. We'll see what happens. Again, the Y doesn't matter. Oh, that has worked pretty good, but only went halfway. Oh yeah, because there's 2 in a centimetre, isn't there? So let's go back. So let's try 34. It's too long. Let's go back. 33. Yes, perfect. Look at that. I'm happy with that. Let's see whether it looks like the one I did before. I think it does. Is that 2 millimeters? Do you think that's 2 millimeters? No, I think it's 1 millimeter. Okay. There we go. Right, so that was easy. Now we've just got to put the numbers on. So double click on the font text and choose a font that you like. I'm going to do Arial Rounded for a change. Now the height, I think I want it to be around 10, but I might change my mind on that. Okay, and click, and then type in. What are we going to do? We're going to do them individually. I think we are. So, oh no, it starts from 0, doesn't it? Ruler starts from 0. Let's try that. Now that looks far too big, doesn't it? So I can change that by selecting it and then going to Properties, go to Settings, and we'll change that to 5. Don't need to type in the millimeters or anything, just 5. Okay, that looks a bit more like it. So that can go there. Good. Right, we need to take the fill out. So you can do that by going up, selecting it, and go to the fill up here and put no fill. And OK, so it'll do a line around the outside. Does it a lot quicker than engraving. It's all filled in. And then we want the other numbers there. So we can also use the same method as before. Of course, it's not going to change the number, but it will do everything else for us. And I think that needs to be 10 again. Let's try that. Oh. Am I ever going to get that right? 18. Yep. And then we can go to each one. Unfortunately, got to do this. Delete, put 1 in. Properties, delete 2. Okay, and so on. So I'm going to spare you that. All right, so I've now done that. I put all the numbers in, and as you can see, up to 9 it's perfect, but all the rest, they need to come over a little bit. So I'm going to select all that lot and just go zoom in using the scroll wheel and just go over a little bit. That looks perfect. Okay, so we're done. Didn't take long. I'm going to put a curve on the back here. It's really easy to do. You go to the curve here, and this puts a fillet, in fact, on the end. So fillet. Default is 10, but in fact you could have any number you want. And then you just select these two lines, and it gives you a curve. Radius 10. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Now, on this ruler here, in fact, the engraving is on the other side, so that the top of the ruler appears completely smooth, and the engraving is on the other side. Now, to do that, it has to be in reverse. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select it all. I'm going to change the color of the line to blue. All right, and then all the numbers and everything, this lot, that needs to be changed to green. Now, this is probably the best way of doing it is to select everything, because rather than going around and selecting individual lines, because if you miss one, and you leave it in black, it just will ignore it. So that looks all right. And now this is really important if you could group it. So Control G, good, and then we're going to reverse it. So it's just click on that. There we are. It's in reverse and it's done. Save it. So the place to save it is in the network drive. And there you have it, one ruler.